Hey guys, welcome back to another For Science video. You know, when most people talk about the best two-man ships, they're typically talking about fighters, Scorpius, Hurricane, Vanguard, things like that. And there's so many ships in this game that are typically flown solo, but really come alive when you just add one crew member. So we decided to take a look at 4 examples we found particularly interesting. We'll do a quick walkthrough of each ship for any two-man team that's new to the verse, and show how we use each one for any of those solo pilots out there looking to get into a little bit of multi-crew. A duo team could use any one of these 4 ships for pretty much anything in the verse, but they do specialize a little bit in different roles. First, we're going to be taking a look at a classic, the Drake Cutless Black. When I think of Star Citizen, I think of the Cutty Black. I don't think I've ever met anybody that doesn't like this ship, and it's typically most people's first upgrade from a starter. And though it is a great solo ship, it really comes alive when you have a friend to man the turret for you. Because of its size and open layout, there's nothing you can't get to within seconds. Co-pilot / tractor operator seat is right here. A few gun racks. A couple beds to log out. And his and her storage wrap up the living area. The fact that this small cargo area has 3 entrances is just awesome. Great for when you gotta get in and out really quick, or loading some poor soul's cargo that you're just borrowing. It's actually bigger than it looks in here. And at the time of recording this, the ship handles amazing for its size. I know it looks tight with the Dragonfly, but it actually fits a Cyclone in here. Alright, time to do what this ship does best and shoot at some stuff. First we'll find some NPCs to shoot at, and then we'll see if we can run into a player or 2. With a total of 6 size 3 guns between the pilot and turret, this thing packs a hell of a punch, and a single size 2 shield is more than enough to handle all kinds of NPCs. This ship also makes farming gear super easy. And while this ship is definitely no light fighter, you'd be surprised what a duo could pull off in the Cutty Black in a PvP situation. Gladius. 50 here too. Dad, where's that M50? Here, in front.
Where?
Here. Hit. Fuck him up.
Congratulations. Target destroyed.
So if you're new to Star Citizen, and you got a buddy that's willing to play with you, you definitely can't go wrong with this ship. Especially if you want to do a little bit of everything, but lean a little heavier into fighting. Our next duo multi-purpose ship is the RSI Zeus. Now I would consider this one more of like an exploration type ship, but it is quite a bit tankier than it looks, so it doesn't necessarily have to run from every fight. And if you want something that's a little fancier than the Cutless, this might be the ship for you. Technically this ship has a 3-man crew, but you can disregard the co-pilot seat altogether. On the left is access to the remote turret. You got a nifty little gun locker here on the bridge. Quick ingress and egress point here with the docking collar. Some suit lockers opposite of that. And another ladder access here on the floor. Moving aft, we have the living quarters. You can see there's a ton of features packed into this little ship. Three separate storage lockers. And 3 logout beds. Continuing aft to the cargo/vehicle bay. It ain't much, but you can fit 32 SCU of cargo in here. Its looks aren't for everybody. You either love it or hate it, but it is pretty fun to fly. Again, it looks pretty tight, but you can fit a Cyclone. Now we'll just show you some of the ways we would generally use this ship. So the Zeus has 2 size 4s for the pilot and 2 size 3s on the remote turret, so it can definitely handle itself against NPCs.
Vamos, legal.
Go to the Corsair.
Enemy dead.
Dead. Let me check. It's probably worth checking. Oh, he's got a bunch of armor on him and shit. Installed. Okay. So if you and your battle buddy prefer to ride around in style while you're doing your box missions, a little bit of cargo, or even some light combat, this could be the ship you're looking for. Another one of our favorite all-rounder type ships for a duo team is the Constellation Taurus. This thing might even be more classic than the Cuddy Black. What would Star Citizen be without the old Connie? While this thing leans heavier into the cargo, it's bigger and badder in every way than the first two ships. Like the Zeus, the crew size is larger than 2, but all you need is you and a friend to fully operate this thing. Here is access to the tractor beam and weapon turret. Crappers over here. And a bunch of storage lockers. The table actually pops up out of the floor now. And an exit elevator. 4 beds to log out in. Moving to the cargo area. You got mirrored missile racks and docking collars on both sides. And since this is a cargo variant, instead of a snub ship, you get an extra cargo grid back here. The upside of going for the larger ship is you can actually fit a Nursa in here for respawns, or 174 SCU of cargo, which is quite a bit. Captain Cuddly. Here's the thing about a Connie though. The pilot gets 4 size 5s, and the turret has 2 size 3s. You pair that with a size 3 shield, and this thing is a ship-destroying machine. But don't expect it to be too nimble. The thing's made to haul boxes. Because you're in a cargo hauler, you might end up as a target for some pirates. Ship coming in above. Nose up. Merlin right in front of us, yep. Kill him.
That was fast.
But to us, that just means more fun gameplay. Another vulture coming in. And it in no way excludes you from causing some trouble of your own. Turret's about to lighting us up. Oh! And luckily for the Taurus team, this thing can hold its own when it ends up on the wrong side of the law. I don't have any sights.
Shield damage.
We did. Leave. Oh.
So that's the Connie Taurus. After many years and thousands of dollars, I still make sure I always have one in my hangar. The last duo ship we're going to look at today is the Anvil Asgard. This thing is quickly becoming one of my favorite ships in the verse, regardless of crew size. With an old school spaceship look, a really simple layout with tons of room on the inside, and a whole bunch of guns and missiles, you can't go wrong with this ship. We'll start the walkthrough at the aft ramp. There's so much room in this thing, you could fit a Pisces, a tank, pretty much anything you could ever want. On both sides of the main cargo area, you have some quick access doors and some really fun gun emplacements. That's all mirrored over here. Moving forward, you got some component access and a jump seat, which again is mirrored on the starboard side. Forward more is the one turret's access, which is what makes this such a great duo ship. The sparse living quarters are on the upper deck. Shitter to port. And some logout beds starboard. Moving forward, you got some gun racks. And down these stairs, behind one last security door, the cockpit. The most unique thing about the Asgard is, you could fit a lot in here, all the way up to a Nova Tonk, which is probably the most fun ground vehicle for a duo team. And just like that, you got a mobile hospital with insane firepower. This thing is packing 6 size 3s for the pilot and 2 size 4s for the turret gunner. Match that to the 4 size 2 shields, and you better get out of this thing's way. Okay, obviously this thing is great against NPCs, but let's see what it does against players, and maybe even a solo Asgard. I shot the shit out of it.
Contact.
Hitting him. Guns.
Bitches. Bye-bye.
So clearly this thing's an absolute beast, and even considering that it's the most expensive out of the 4 we've showed you today, this is my #1 pick for a duo ship. If you have a different duo multi-crew ship that you would recommend to new players or the solo pilot, leave it in the comments. That's all we got for today. See you next time.